Good morning and welcome to Christ-Centered Foundational Yoga. If you're just joining us, I've asked you guys to grab a couple blankets or beach towels. If you have a couple blocks and a bolster, if you don't have a bolster, you can create your own bolster by just taking 2 blocks end to end across your mat and then placing a blanket over it. But we're going to start in a reclined position on our back. And also if you have a strap, a men's tie, a belt, or even a women's scarf, that will work too, because we'll be using this a little bit later. So we'll start on our back. And if you want to take one of your blankets and create like a little neck roll, this will help to support the natural curvature of the neck. And then drape your legs over a bolster, or like I said, 2 blocks with a blanket, or even a rolled up blanket or a towel can work too. But I want you to find a really comfy position. So if something else sounds more inviting to you, feel free to modify however you wish. And then coming onto your back, make sure as much of your back is contacting the earth as possible. Sometimes I like to shift and move, kind of wiggle to get a little bit more grounded. Let the feet splay out, maybe even take them a little wide to allow for the hips to begin to open a little bit. You can have the arms out to the sides like little angel wings with the palms facing up or alongside the hips. Some people like to place their hands on their belly so they can really contact their body as they breathe. So again, go with what feels most natural for you. And then just close your eyes and begin to settle in. Kind of notice the weight of your body melting into the earth, feeling supported on your mat. Almost maybe envision yourself resting in the palm of God's hand. Just feel that sense of comfort, that sense of peace. Begin to notice how your body feels on a physical level. So just scanning the field of your attention, noticing your body, any physical sensations that are present in your body today. Being aware of any thoughts or feelings that are present, not judging, just accepting what's here and inviting God into that to just meet you where you are. And then begin to slow and deepen your breathing. Inhaling for a count of 3 or 4, filling into the lungs all the way into the belly, holding at the top for a few moments. And then when you feel ready to exhale, exhale for about double the count of your inhale. So maybe exhaling to a count of 6 or 8. And then again, a pause at the bottom of the breath. Inhale, filling in, filling up. Maybe even a little longer, fuller inhale than the last. Pausing at the top, holding that sensation of fullness. Exhaling, releasing, letting all of the breath go. You can breathe out through the nose or through an open mouth. That open mouth release helps to let go of stress and tension. You can even add some sound if you like a sigh of relief that you're here, that you made it to your mat. A nice sigh to open the heart, just inviting God in. And then just continuing with this breathing, allowing it to feel natural, effortless, and full. So I've been noticing a theme in the last week or so, and I've certainly been experiencing it myself, where I felt kind of weary, worn down, like just almost to a point of feeling just a slight bit of depression and sadness with the fact that the situation, the COVID situation, has gone on and on and on. And at times it feels like there's no end in sight, and at times it feels just like it's just too much. And I've been noticing this with my friends and other yoga teachers, my students. And so today I want us to take some time to really allow God to meet us in a space of renewal and rest. I found a beautiful devotion in Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. And she says this: "Come to me when you are weak and weary. Rest snugly in my everlasting arms. I do not despise your weakness, my child. Actually, it draws me closer to you, because weakness stirs up my compassion, my yearning to help. Accept yourself in your weariness, knowing that I understand how difficult your journey has been. Do not compare yourself with others who seem to skip along their life paths with ease. Their journeys have been different from yours, and I have gifted them with abundant energy. I have gifted you with fragility, providing opportunities for your spirit to blossom in my presence. Accept this gift as sacred treasure, delicate yet glowing with brilliant light. Rather than struggling to disguise or deny your weakness, allow me to bless you richly through it." Take a moment to let those words resonate. I think when we're feeling weak and weary in our society, in our culture, we feel this sense of embarrassment. We compare ourselves to other people. We don't want to be viewed as weak or struggling. But the truth of the matter is there's beauty in that weakness. And God meets us exactly where we are. He can bless us through this time of weakness, this time of weariness. And he can fill us up with his spirit and his strength. Isaiah chapter 40, starting at verse 28. "Have you not known? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He does not grow faint or weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the faint. And to him who has no might, he increases strength. Even youths shall faint and be weary, and young men shall fall exhausted. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." Every breath, imagine God filling you with his strength, his power. Let this be a time of renewal, restoration, and healing. I want to invite you to place your feet on top of the bolster, or whatever it is that you have underneath your legs, underneath your knees. Just allow the knees to stack over the hips. You're going to start to feel this sense of groundedness into the hips and the low back. This is a great way to help to release the low back, just bending into the knees, but also having those feet elevated. Just take a few moments here. Just feeling that groundedness through the back, through the hips, and that sense of release through the low back. This is called constructive rest position. So just breathing in a sense of rest and renewal here. Keeping your legs where they are. Go ahead and take elbow for elbow above your chest. So we're just gonna take a hold of each elbow. And then begin to guide your arms across the body over to the right. So you're gonna use your right hand to pull the left elbow over to the right. It's a gentle stretch into the shoulders. Good. Begin to circle the arms. So we're going to start to bring those arms up over our head. So elbow for elbow, maybe the biceps align alongside the ears. Keep breathing. On your next exhale, begin to move the arms across the body over to the left. So use your left hand, take a hold of that right elbow, and draw the arms to the left, getting a stretch in that right shoulder now. Good, and then begin to circle so the arms are folded over the belly. Just rest there for a moment. Now we're going to draw really big circles with those arms. So take the arms over to the right, up and over your head, over to the left, and then over the belly. We're going to do this a few times in each direction. Breathe as you move. Maybe inhaling as those arms come up overhead. Exhaling as they come over the belly. And then take it in the other direction. Unwinding. Nice job. We're going to go ahead and bring the arms back out, the palms facing up, and kind of draw the shoulders down away from the ears and the shoulder blades toward each other on the back side of the heart. So you're going to feel some space in the neck. And then toe heel your feet so they're a little wider. Just gradually allow the left knee to collapse inward toward the right thigh. The right leg stays as it is. Just doing a little internal rotation of that left leg. And then inhale, bring that knee back up. Keeping the knee pointed up, we're going to internally rotate the right leg now, so the right knee collapses to the inside of the left leg. Good. Inhale, bring that knee back up. And then just keep doing this. Move back and forth, breathing. So inhaling and exhaling. And then maybe you start to let both legs go to the right now. And we'll switch sides. Being slow and intentional with our movements. Good. Next time the knees go to the right, let's allow both knees to point to the right. If this is too big of a stretch, you can always bring that left knee closer to the right knee or adjust however you wish. Soften into that left shoulder. Maybe take your gaze over your left hand. It's a gentle twist into the neck as well. Twists are really good for the body. They help to wring out toxins. They help to nourish our spine and improve the flexibility of our spine. They also help to shift our perspective, giving us a different way of looking at our circumstances. Also help us to wring out the lungs and It's believed, according to yoga theory, that we hold and harbor grief in our lung tissue. Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine believes this as well. So maybe we're exhaling some of that grief and sadness, that heaviness that we've been feeling. On the inhale, bring those knees back up. And then we'll go ahead and bring the legs over to the left. Maybe gaze over that right hand. 70% of our toxins leave our body through respiration, through our breathing. So let go, release, surrender. Just our physical toxins, but mental and emotional ones as well. We can only be filled up as much as we're willing to be emptied. So make space for that renewal to take place. Out with the old, in with the new. Just allowing God's Spirit to refresh and renew us. Slowly begin to bring those knees back up. And then we're just going to scooch that bolster, whatever it is, out from underneath. Coming into that constructive rest position, but this time with the feet on the mat. Good. If you have a strap handy, we'll use it here. We're going to go ahead and bring the right knee in and then loop the strap around the ball of that foot. Now, if you don't have a strap, no worries. Just interlace your fingers behind your leg. And then we'll take that foot high. Toes are going to drop back toward the nose. We can hold on to that strap by looping it around the hand so we don't have to clench to hold on. Bring some ease into your practice today. How can you make your practice easier? How can you make it more restful? Even in the midst of the work and the effort. Just breathing into the back side of that leg, allowing it to begin to open and release. And then on the inhale, gently guide that leg out to the right. Yeah. Stay grounded through the left side, so make sure the left foot, left hip, left shoulder, maybe even that left arm comes out to the side for counterbalance. Breathing here. Opening into the hip. At the same time, open into your jaw. It's interesting, our hips, shoulders, and neck and jaw are all kind of in the same fascia chain. When we're stressed and we're guarding, we'll notice our teeth are tensing and tightening or clenching. Our shoulders will lift toward our ears. Our neck will tighten. And so will our hips. So be mindful to soften into each of those areas. On your next inhale, bring that leg up. We're just going to go over to the left a little bit. Now you can take a hold of the strap with the left hand, or you can take a hold of the leg with the left hand, but we're only coming over maybe like 10 to 15 degrees. Hold here. You're going to feel a big stretch into the outer hip, into the IT band, which runs along the entire outside of your leg. It's a thick band of connective tissue that can get very tight. Beautiful. Now release the strap if you have one. Bend into your right knee. We're going to just drape that right knee over the left knee. Take your arms back out to the sides like wings and allow the legs to go over to the left in a deeper stretch here. A deeper twist into the low back and into the outer right hip. You can even take your left hand to the top of your knee or thigh if you want to assist that twist, but just never force the twist. Maybe you just let time, breath, and gravity take you deeper into this twist without any effort at all. Beautiful job. On your inhale, let's bring those knees back up. Unravel the legs. Take a moment to draw those legs in toward your chest. So maybe the hands are below the knees or behind. I'm just going to rock a few times here side to side. Just a nice massage into the low back and the sacral area, SI joints, on either side of our sacrum, that hard triangular shaped bone at the base of our spine. Float the right foot to the floor, keeping that knee bent, and then we'll loop the strap around the ball of the left foot, or you can interlace your fingers behind that left leg. Take the heel high toward the ceiling. You can hold of that strap if you have one. And then just breathe into the back side of that leg as if you had lungs there. Notice after maybe 3 breaths, 3 to 5 breaths, you'll notice an opening start to take place. So in our stillness, sometimes we have to have patience. Patience is something, a fruit that God's been working on with me for quite some time. And I feel a sense of impatience right now. I just want this to be over with and just done. And I know that you guys all can relate to that feeling. But again, reminding ourselves that God meets us exactly where we are to give us exactly what we need to withstand it. Slowly begin to open that leg out to the left. Nice opening into that thigh. Right arm can come out to the side if you wish. Just stay grounded into the right foot, hip, and shoulder. Again, just let time, breath, and gravity open you. Maybe in your mind's eye, you kind of say, less of me, more of you, God. More of your strength, your endurance, your perseverance, your patience, your power. Less of me. It's interesting, the word patience also means long suffering. Those two words are hard to hear together sometimes, right? Long suffering. On the inhale, go ahead and bring that leg up. We'll take a hold of the leg or the strap with the right hand and just allow that leg to cross over the body, 10 to 15 degrees. Breathe where you feel the stretch. Hanging out here for a few breaths. And notice how the tissue, as the tissue opens, you can maybe even breathe a little more effectively, a little more efficiently, a little more fully. Release the strap. And we're going to bend that knee, drape it over the right leg. Take the arms to the sides like wings, and just allow those knees to go over to the right, staying grounded through that left shoulder. Again, you might choose to assist the twist with your right hand. Keep melting your left shoulder toward the floor. Beautiful opening into that spine, into that hip. Maybe breathing out through an open mouth. The other thing about twists is they're inherently calming to our nervous system. They help return all the body systems back to homeostasis. So let this twist just help bring a sense of calm and peace. Good. Slowly come out of that twist and then unravel the legs. Draw those knees to the chest one more time. Already, maybe you can notice a difference in the way your body feels, the way you're breathing. Breathe into that space. Remember that the word for breath in Hebrew is ruach, and it means breath, spirit, soul, life force, and vigor. Breath is a breath of renewal. God's breath to your own lips. Slowly roll to one side, and we're just going to pause there for a moment in a fetal position. Just hanging out here for a few breaths. As you're ready, we're going to go ahead and bring ourselves up onto all fours. If you're healing in your knees or you want some additional support, just take your blanket or towel, fold it flat, and we'll place that underneath the knees. Good. Bring the knees directly underneath those hips. You can tuck the toes under if you'd like to open the bottoms of the feet, or you can bring tops of the feet to the mat, your choice. Take your fingers, fan them wide. Allow the index fingers to point forward, or maybe they angle out slightly, but at least shoulder width distance width for those hands, right underneath the shoulders. Good. Find a nice, solid tabletop position here. So you'll notice I have a little natural sway in my back. We all do to some degree. I'm going to slightly curl my seat under, draw my navel in, and now my back is nice and flat. If there's rounding in the upper back, melt the heart. So you're in a nice long straight line. The crown is an extension of your spine here. Good. Draw that left knee in just a tiny bit. And we're going to take that right foot behind us, pressing into the ball of the foot, keeping that spine long and straight, so lifting from the underside of that belly. And then extend the heels straight back. Beautiful job. On the exhale, bring the knee in toward your nose, tuck and round. Try to bring your forehead toward that knee. Inhale, extend straight back, lengthen the spine. Good. Now bend into the knee, lift the heel up, and lift the heart forward and the crown toward the ceiling. Beautiful. Back bend here. And then exhale, straighten that leg back out. Beautiful. Bring that knee in, tuck and round. Inhale, extend that leg out. Bend the knee. Exhale, lift and open. Beautiful. Extend and lengthen. Exhale, bring the knee in, squeeze. One more time. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend the knee, lift the heart. Beautiful. Extend that leg back out, and then we'll float that knee down. Take a few cat-cows here before we pick up the other side. So on the exhale, curl that tail under, draw the navel in, round your back, chin to your chest. Inhale, lift the tail, press the navel down, slide the heart forward, lift the crown. Good. Exhale, tuck and round, starting at the tail, rippling up the spine. And one more. Beautiful. Come neutral with the spine once again. So again, lift from the underside of that belly. Core is engaged. Back is nice and broad. Take that left foot back behind you. And then inhale, lift that heel. Long, straight spine. Keep lifting from the underside of the belly. Keep that core engaged. On the exhale, bring the knee in, squeeze, tuck and round. Inhale, extend, straight back, lengthen. Now bend the knee, lift the heel, lift the head, open the heart. Good. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Straighten it out. Exhale, tuck and round. Bring that knee in. Inhale, extend straight back. Exhale, bend the knee, open. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, tuck and round. Good. One more like this. Extend back. Good. Bend the knee. Exhale. Open the heart. Inhale. Straighten the leg. Exhale. Float it back down. And then a few cat-cows here. Exhaling. Curling the tail under. Drawing the navel in. Rounding the back. Inhale. Lift the tail. Press the navel down. Slide the heart forward. Lift the crown. Exhale. Tuck and round. And inhale, arch that spine one more time. Breathing as you move. This is called reticulation of the spine. Cats do this normally, naturally, organically. Good. Go ahead and come back to a neutral position. We'll take those knees wide. Now, if you're healing in your knees, you might choose to put a blanket behind the knees. Toes are going to come together, set the tail back toward your heels. Now, I want to invite you to a really comfy, cozy child's pose. So if you want to, you can place a bolster underneath the chest and then just fold out over that bolster. If you prefer not to have anything underneath the chest, just melt your body down toward the floor in a nice restful position. Matthew 11, chapter 11, verses 28 through 29. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. We think about what a yoke is. A yoke is a wooden contraption that would hold oxen together so that they would stay together and do the work of plowing and things like this. And the yoke was very, very heavy. It also represents the yoke of slavery, the burdens and shackles of slavery. And here we're told by Jesus to come to him if we're weary and burdened, if we feel like we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders, or if we feel like we are in bondage in some way. Some of us feel trapped in our own homes right now, right? And he says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Slowly begin to come up. We're going to move that bolster out of the way if you have one. Coming onto all fours with the knees underneath the hips. Walk your hands forward so they're about a handprint in front of where they would be underneath your shoulders. So they're just out in front a little bit. Bending those fingers wide, tuck the toes. Bring your chest back toward your thighs. We're going to stay here for a moment. I want you to really push the mat forward with your hands. As you do that, draw the shoulders away from your ears. Feel that stretch into the entire back and even into the bottoms of the feet. Now, keep pushing the mat forward with your hands, and then we're going to slowly begin to press our way up, lifting the hips up and back, but keeping that chest pressed back so the ears line up with the insides of the biceps. We're moving into down dog. Begin to walk your dog. Feet are about hip-width distance apart, maybe even slightly pigeon-toeing those feet. Now, if this is too much at any point, you can come back in a table, or you can come into a child's pose. Lots of breath here. Good. And then slowly lift the heels, bend the knees, and keep pressing your chest back toward your thighs. Check in to make sure the ears are to the insides of the biceps. Not touching the biceps. Make sure there's space between your arms and your ears. And then exhale, release those heels down, straightening into the legs. Good. Wherever you are, slide forward into a high push-up position. This is a great place to release the knees back down. If you bring the knees down, tops of the feet to the mat, engage your core, lift from the underside of your belly, broaden the back. And if you're in high push-up, just hold for a few more breaths. Nice. On the exhale, everybody bring your knees down. And then we're going to just bring that left foot kind of behind us, pivot, and extend that right leg out. Bring the left hand so it stacks right underneath the left shoulder. And then start lifting your right hip. If you need a block underneath your hand, you can always place a block under that left hand to bring the body up higher. Okay? So keep lifting that right hip up, keep lifting the right shoulder up, and then reach your hand high. Maybe even reach it back a little bit. Open into that shoulder. Keep breathing. Now, I want to invite you to pick up that leg, coming into a side arm balance. If it doesn't feel good, you can keep the foot on the ground. And then if it's available, bend the knee and we'll reach and take a hold of that foot and open this up into a variation of what's called full moon. So you're creating a full moon. We had a full moon last night. It was beautiful. Take your gaze toward the sky if you like. Remembering the moon reflects the light of the sun, and we are like the moon. We reflect the light of the S-O-N. We are light bearers. So just let yourself fill up with God's light here. Like little solar cells are like the moon. Slowly release that. Coming back into that side arm balance, we'll float the hand down. Move the block for the moment. And then take a moment, press back into child's pose. Or feel free to take down dog here. Kind of realigning the spine. Face the other direction so you can see me on the other side. We're going to slowly come up. Good. Bring those knees directly underneath the hips, hands fan out wide. Tuck the toes, press your chest back. Lining the ears up with the insides of the biceps, shoulders away from the ears. Press up, finding your down dog. Again, you can always stay in table or child's. This is your practice. Honor your body. Just like God meets us exactly where we're at in any given moment, allow your yoga practice to meet you where you are physically. Good. Slide forward into that high push-up position. You can always stay here or bring the knees down. Slight curl that tail under, drawing the navel in so the back is nice and broad. If your knees aren't down, go ahead and bring the knees down. We're going to come up a little bit, bring the right foot behind us and pivot on our mat, extending that left leg out. Bring the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Feel free to use a block if you like. Good. And then we'll start to stack the shoulders and the hips. So we're lifting the hip and shoulder up. Reach that hand up or back. This feels really good to me to open my shoulder a little bit. If it feels okay, and you want to challenge yourself, pick that leg up. Keep breathing. And then maybe reach and grab a hold of that foot, creating your little full moon. Maybe your gaze goes high. Check in with your breath. Good, release that, coming back down. And then again, take a nice child's pose or maybe a down dog. Breathe here. Nice, we're gonna slowly come up. Standing on our knees. And then go ahead and step your right foot forward. So the hands can come to the knee if you like, or they can come to the blocks. Your choice, but we're gonna start sinking into this. Allow that left hip to sculpt forward and down, just opening into that hip. Keep breathing, shoulders are drawn away from those ears. Good, you can stay here or begin to tuck the toes of your back leg and then start to come up a little bit. So maybe your fingertips are touching the blocks, or maybe your hands start to come to the knees, or maybe your arms come out to the sides. Keep breathing. Good. Bring your hands to your hips and slowly begin to come up. You might need to toe heel your right foot over to the right. We're squaring the hips and shoulders to the front. Ears are stacking over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. You might need to bend in that back leg so that you feel nice and sturdy, but also so you can stack your upper body. And then maybe bring those arms up. Keep softening the shoulders away from those ears. Keep breathing here. Beautiful job. Go ahead and fold back over that leg. Maybe the arms out to the sides or to the knee or to the blocks. Beautiful. Place the hands down on the blocks if they're not already. And then we're going to step that back foot forward a little bit and straighten into both legs, coming into a pyramid position. So your left foot will kind of angle toward the left front corner of your mat. Make sure you're not on a tightrope so there's room for your hips. So you might need to toe heel your right foot to the right. And then your hands can be on the floor on blocks at any level. So maybe you want to come up even higher onto the ends of those blocks, keeping that body nice and long and straight. Hug that right hip in and back. Our tendency is to kick it out to the side. So intentionally draw it in and back and let that left hip sculpt forward and down. Beautiful. Really plug into the feet like you're separating the mat with your feet. And then if it's available on the exhale, maybe you start to fold out over that leg. Breathe here. And you release a little bit more from the head, bow the head to the heart. Trust is an act of surrender. Surrendering our will to God's, our plans to God's plans. Surrendering our impatience. Anything else that's interfering with your ability to be present and really trusting God in this moment. On the inhale, lift halfway. We're going to place the left hand to a block underneath our left shoulder. Good. And now you might want to toe heel your right foot over a little more, so maybe you are a little bit more on the tightrope, but not fully on the tightrope. Just a little closer with those legs in terms of width. Take the right arm out to this side like a wing. Or take your right hand to your right hip. Hug that right hip in and back. And then if it's available, begin to rotate your torso over to the right. You can even take your hand to your sacrum to assist with that, or reach the hand up toward the ceiling. Keep breathing. This is a big stretch. On the exhale, slowly unravel, holding over the leg. Walk those hands forward. You can keep them on blocks if you like, then into your front knee, and we're going to just tip forward and pick up that back leg. You can stay here with the hands down, or you can experiment with coming into a warrior three, maybe bringing the hands to heart center or out to the sides. Slowly float the hands down if they're not down, and then we'll float that left foot down. Feet are about hip width distance apart. Bend both knees, belly and the rib cage come to the thighs. So bend those knees deeply so that you can really make contact between your ribs and your thighs. Then let the head begin to hang. Tail lifts. On the inhale, lift halfway for length. Maybe the hands slide up the shins. Exhale, gently fold out. On an inhale, sweep, coming all the way up to standing. Stretch through those fingertips, maybe even turn the palms to face back and lift the heart. Good. Exhale, bring the hands back through heart center. Bend those knees, fold over those legs. On the inhale, lift halfway. And then we're going to step the right foot back and bring the knee to the floor. Nice. Hands again can be on blocks. You might want to toe heel that left foot to the left just to create some space for the hips. Or the hands can be up on the thigh. We're letting that right hip sculpt forward and down here. Breathe. Shoulders draw away from those ears. Nice. Begin to tuck your back toes and we'll lift that back leg up. If it's available, begin to bring your hands to your thigh or out to the sides. Maybe your arms are out like wings. Good. Slowly begin to bring your hands to your hips, bring the upper body up. So ears back over shoulders, shoulders over the hips, a little bend in that back leg. Feel nice and sturdy here. And then reach those hands up. Can you find ease in the work here? Can you find rest in the work? Lots of breath. It's a combination of steadiness and ease, comfortably residing in a resolute space. On the exhale, float those hands down. Maybe those arms are out to the side for a moment as you hover here. Maybe the hands come to the blocks. Float the hands down. And then again, we're gonna bring the right foot up a little bit. Straightening into both legs, coming into pyramid. Adjust your feet if you need to. Left hip draws in and back. Maybe you come all the way onto the ends of those blocks for a moment to just get some nice alignment and space in your spine and your body. And then as you exhale, maybe there's some space to fold into. Keeping that spine long and straight, shoulders away from the ears. Lift up halfway. You might toe heel your left foot in a little bit. Right hand is going to stack right underneath your right shoulder. Spine is long, so lift up. Left arm can come out to the side like a wing. You can bring your left hand to your left hip. Hug that left hip in and back either way. Or maybe you bring your hand to your sacrum. Keeping that length in the spine, begin to rotate your torso to the left. Keep breathing. Exhale, slowly unravel that. Walk the hands forward, bend into your left knee and kick off. Extending that right leg back into a modified warrior 3. Good, now you can stay here or you can slowly begin to bring the hands to the heart. Keep breathing. On the exhale, float the hands down, float that foot down. Bend both knees deeply, melt your chest toward your thighs, let your head hang. Inhale, lift halfway for length. Feel that big stretch in the back sides of the legs and the whole back body. Exhale, bend those knees, fold out. Inhale, press into the feet, root down to rise up. Open this up a little. Exhale, bring hands to your heart. Bend those knees, fold out. And then we're going to slowly bring our seat down to the floor. So if you need some additional support, you can always fold up your blanket and then bring the edge of your seat to the edge of the blanket. Good. You can have one foot in front of the other in a simple seated. If you need to extend one leg out, feel free. We'll switch halfway through. Good, and then we're just going to start doing a few little cat-cows here. So gather the knees, tucking around, coming into a little ball. Inhale, opening up, arching the spine, taking the skull back. Move like this a few times. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15 says, "This is what the sovereign Lord, the Holy One of Israel says. In returning and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength." In returning and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall, lengthening into the spine. Allowing those knees to fall toward the floor. If you need support, you can always place your blocks under those thighs. And we're just going to start to do some little torso circles. So circling the upper body. Good. Hanging out if there's a place you want to hover, and then unravel. Zechariah chapter 1, verse 3 says, "Therefore tell the people, this is what the Lord Almighty says, return to me, declares the Lord Almighty, and I will return to you, says the Lord Almighty." We go places in our minds, we doubt, we give way to fear, we kind of check out. He's saying, return to me, come back to me. I'll meet you exactly where you are. Go ahead and switch those legs out. Good, sitting up nice and tall. If you had one leg extended, you're going to switch those out. Lengthen the spine here. We're going to take the right hand to the ankles or to the floor, and then take the left hand behind you. Lengthen, lifting through the crown of the head, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, and then begin to rotate your torso. You can always keep that right hand in front, or you can begin to slide it over to your knee or thigh. On this final spinal twist. Breathe. Keep the length, and as you unravel, exhale the breath. Good, we're going to do that on the other side. So take the left hand in front, right hand behind, press down, root down to rise up, lengthen, and then begin to rotate your torso, keeping the shoulders away from those ears. Gaze will follow the twist. Maybe with every breath you lengthen a little more, and you can decide where to put that left hand. And then slowly come back to center. We're going to end a little differently because I have a little meditation I want to do with you, but we're going to do it from a seated position. But if this is uncomfortable and you want to find a different position, feel free to come on your back or whatever you need to. But I want you to settle in. So wherever you are, make sure your spine is nice and long and straight. Shoulders are away from those ears. The body is nice and spacious. Close your eyes and begin to breathe. I'm going to share with you a prayer from Prayers of Boundless Compassion by Joyce Rupp. But it's actually a meditation. called The Four Guardians. I want to give you the preface and then we'll do it together. She says, this meditation is based on a belief that it is possible to remain united with the people we respect and admire who have died and now reside in another realm of life. Christians call them saints, those officially recognized for their goodness, the ones we recognize as the uncanonized saints who also gave witness to living virtuously. She goes on to say, these ancestor saints, guardian angels, might be valued relatives, friends, teachers, and others we have personally known, or biblical figures, personages from history, or anyone we might reach out to in an invitation to come and be with us, to bring their loving, wise presence into our sphere of life. They come as comforters, protectors, and guides, providing a circle of safety and calm assurance. They bring strength to go on and encouragement to become more Christ-like by accessing our own inner goodness. The guardian's presence carries an unspoken wisdom and oftentimes a healing we are unaware of needing until it happens. So take a moment right now. Focus on your right side and quietly pray. Come, come, come be with me. Come and stand on my right side. Wait without anxiety for a presence to come to you. When you sense that this guardian is there on your right side, imagine a caring arm placed around your right shoulder. Now focus on your left side. Quietly pray, come, come, come be with me. Come stand on my left side. Wait and trust this guardian presence to come to you. When you sense this guardian is there on your left side, imagine a caring arm placed around your left shoulder. Now focus behind your back. Quietly pray, come, come, come be with me. Come stand behind my back. Wait for another presence to come to you. When you have an awareness or a sense, this guardian is behind you, imagine two hands gently placed on top of your head. Lastly, focus on the space before you. Quietly pray, come, come, come be with me. Come and kneel before me. Wait patiently, without anxiousness or effort, for a presence to come and be with you. When you sense this guardian is there kneeling before you, open your hands and place them palms up before you. Imagine your hands being held by this caring presence. You are now surrounded, held, and embraced by these four guardians. They care about you. They love you and desire what is best for you. Sit quietly another few moments and let their loving kindness and the blessedness of their wisdom seep into every part of you, especially your heart. Receive their tenderness and healing love they bring to you. Accept their strength and wisdom and their safety and love. Receive their qualities, being as fully present as possible. And bring your hands to your heart. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your peaceful presence. We thank you when we feel weak and weary, we can come to you and you surround us on all sides. You hem us in before and behind, and you place your loving hand upon us. We thank you that you refresh our souls, that you renew us, that you breathe life back into us where we feel tired, weary, or even dead inside. You are life, and you are our life in abundance. It's what you desire for each and every one of us. Father, I pray that each and every one of us go forward into this week with a new perspective, feeling refreshed and renewed, knowing that you are with us always and that we can call upon you at any time and you'll be there. We love you and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.